Captain's like, why are we treating Jill like she's the primary? Because what ends up happening is the primary doesn't like raw fish.
Yeah.
So who was Jill saying wanted sushi?
No.
Jill didn't want sushi. She doesn't eat fish or meat or whatever. And the primary doesn't eat raw fish. Jill, who wanted sushi?
No one.
No one. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Below Deckperts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
And today we're recapping Below Deck Season 11, Episode 9, The Real Housewives of Grenada?
Granada.
Is it Grenada?
No idea.
I don't know either. I just kind of...
But it's really accurate. But there's only one housewife.
I have so many thoughts. Just like, again, hot take, right? Everybody hated Jill this week.
Yeah.
But I have a theory on like, we'll get into it in a little bit.
You think she's a lizard person?
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
I knew it.
So quick before we get into the episode, last week I talked a lot about the Patreon. It is up, it's running. I just posted on Instagram and TikTok, I think, yesterday, explaining the tiers. So I won't go into that again today because I think I did that last week anyways. Maybe not. But check out our TikTok and Instagram if you want in-depth analysis of all of the paid tiers. But I wanted to remind you guys, please just go and sign up for it. If you don't want to pay, just be a free member.
Yeah.
Like, just go. The link will be under the video that you're watching, or if you're listening audio wise, it will also be in like the description.
Yeah. It's for all Below Deckperts.
Exactly. If you, again, we would love it if you went to one of the paid tiers, but you absolutely do not have to. I'm a Patreon for so many podcasts at the free level. But I did want to show you guys really quickly. We have all three of our like merch items here, which I'm actually so proud of.
Yeah. Yeah, she put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, so I mean it's kind of far away and I'm not going to walk up to the camera. Sorry, there's way too much going on here.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It would take forever.
If there was a fire, it wouldn't be good.
This is the sticker. It's a little tiny sticker. It's like a 2-inch sticker. It's perfect. You know how I have all the stickers on my laptop? It's perfect for a laptop.
Yeah.
I actually need to add one to my laptop. That's the $5 tier. $5 tier and the bonus episode.
Yeah.
Then we have this coaster designed by, well, I guess the logo was designed by me, but then my husband's the one that did the coasters. Pretty cool. $10 tier, you get the coaster and the sticker. And then the coolest thing, I think, is the cup. Lane's actually drinking something out of it right now because we're drinking because of Jill.
Yeah. Thanks, Jill.
Thanks, Jill.
I have work tomorrow.
Yeah. But I think it's so cool. It's like a stainless steel wine tumbler, but you can obviously put whatever you want in it with our logo. This is the $20 tier. Again, you can sign up, cancel whenever, but when you sign up, you automatically get these things.
Yeah.
At the $20 tier, you also get all three. So the cup, the coaster, the sticker. So, anywho, that's all I'll say about the Patreon. But again, if you do not want to sign up for a paid tier, please just go sign up. That's where we're going to be writing. Like I shared an Easter post on Easter. Like that's where we're going to be sharing stuff with you guys. Again, we will still reply to the comments and all of that. And we'll still post TikToks and stuff. But like that's where like the community aspect is going to be. So go sign up.
Yeah, and we love the YouTube comments. I mean, that's been one of the most fun parts about doing this, and that's been great. And please keep leaving those. But the Patreon in our heads is kind of like where the Below Deckperts are. I know I said that earlier, but just like you said, the community, and I'm hoping a lot of people will join and it'll be fun. Yeah,
exactly. Like more the community aspect. I will post embarrassing pictures of Lane as I find them on my phone. So don't
You're going to do
that.
What now? I'm out of this.
So anyway, if you are new here, the way our episodes work is we start with a question for each other based upon the week's episode because we do not watch the episode together. And then we get into recapping the episode and we focus on 2 to 4 main points throughout. Here are my topics for today. A housewife being a nightmare. No way.
Yeah. Wait, is she actually from The Housewives?
Yes, I Googled it. I'll Google it again because I didn't look up exactly what franchise she's from, but
care.
she is. She is an actual housewife. Fraser and Chef Anthony, on the rocks.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
That was, yeah. We'll get
And
into
then
that.
I couldn't think of another one. I guess Zandy's a little bit of a topic this episode.
Yeah. She goes
but
in and out of the drama.
I just have, honestly, we're drinking on this episode because of Jill. So
Yeah,
that's the
thanks,
third
Jill.
topic. So the question I have for you is, are they trying to make Dylan a douche, or is he actually a douche? Because I'm a little annoyed with production at this point. Like, anyway, go ahead. I won't expand anymore.
Would you ever expect me to wake up in my bed, anything like that, wake up and do this?
Is that what he did?
That's exactly what he did. I rewatched it just to get that.
For our
did
audio
this.
listeners, I don't even know how to explain what Lane's doing.
I don't know
right
how to
now.
explain it either. But if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. And what the fuck was that?
I'll try to cut that out and make it a TikTok for our audio listeners. Go check out our TikTok if you want to see what Lane just did. I missed that part in the episode, but no sane person would wake up and do that. So I get your point. Mm-hmm. Nobody's telling him to do that.
No.
So I guess that answers my question, but I think it's both because, well, no, maybe I'm leaning more towards he's just a douche.
I have a quote in here somewhere. It's going to take me forever to find it because I have like 9 pages of notes for this episode.
That's gonna be the $50 Patreon tier. You get access to Lane's 9 pages of notes.
No, honestly, I will put it at any tier, but I think you guys will
He'll put it on the free.
I'll put it on the free one. Who cares? But I think my notes are genuinely funny, and I just I don't say most of the shit that I write down. But what I have written down somewhere is a quote from him, and I'm not gonna hit it exactly, but he's like, "I love dumbbells. If I don't have a dumbbell every day, I'm sad."
Yep. Yeah.
True story.
That might be the exact quote.
Like, no sane person can make that up. There's not a producer in the world that would be like, "Hey, say this."
You're right. He's definitely playing to be on TV. Like, I think he's saying things. I'd like to believe he's not this way completely as a normal person.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely like, how can I get as much screen time as possible? Which is so annoying if you think about it. Like, I know this is a reality show. I know that they all want to be on a reality show, but I feel the same way about like Love is Blind. Whoever watches Love is Blind, it's gotten to the point now where, I mean, especially with like all the drama of this last season of Love is Blind, you know that they're just on so they can be a Instagram influencer.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that that's the world we live in, but I do miss the old days of like the old Bachelor, for example, where it's like they just went on the show and then they went home. Like, there was no social media, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if you were on a show, you either were on the show and then when you were off the show, you were just went back to your normal life, or you tried to be like an actual actor or actress on other things.
Well, yeah, and that kind of reminded me of, and I know we said this whenever it happened, but Barbie commented on one of our episodes, and her name on YouTube was like Barbara79462.
Yeah.
0 videos, like no profile picture.
Yeah, was it? Maybe it wasn't really her then. Damn.
No, it was because she messaged us.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made me rethink that for a second. I was like, wait, maybe it wasn't actually her.
Because at first you texted me and you're like, Barbie commented on our YouTube channel. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then we got a message on Instagram and we're like, oh shit.
By the way, I'm still Team Barbie.
Yeah.
At the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I was like, don't come for my girl.
I'm only like a little biased. But yeah, she's still in the right.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, we better just get into the episode because there is actually a lot. It's like there's not a lot, but also a lot.
Yeah.
Jill basically takes up the entire episode.
Well, let me transition us in with my question.
Oh, yeah, you didn't ask.
You never let me ask
I know,
my
I'm
question.
sorry. I get so caught up.
See how I get treated here?
Sorry, you know what? Guys, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I get a little bit self-conscious that you guys don't like to hear us just bullshit. So
Don't trust me. Trust me. Every time I'm editing, I'm like, are they actually going to enjoy this?
But honestly, it seems like they do.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a strict recap of Below Deck, I guess this isn't it.
They were on a boat and they got angry at each other.
Right. Like,
Goodbye.
if you want that, you just like go read an article or something.
Yeah, or
you
just
know?
watch the episode or something.
That too.
But yeah, we're just trying to make a community here, hang out, and
Right.
talk about Below Deck.
I get less and less self-conscious as we do it more, and like people still listen.
Well, yeah, and we stay somewhat near the topics,
Right?
And we tell interesting stories.
We're super funny.
What? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, we are. We are actually pretty funny. We riff pretty well together. And no, but I've listened to like a true crime podcast that was 45 minutes of
Nothing.
them being like, so how was your day?
I know.
It's like,
Yeah.
you kind of mislabeled that. You said, this case, but,
Right.
Whatever.
My favorite podcasts do kind of what we do, where it's like sprinkled throughout. You don't have to set aside 20 minutes at the beginning.
Yeah.
But like, it's also not like, because Crime Junkie, for example, is a podcast where they don't really like talk about anything besides the case.
They'll go off a little bit, but it's never more than like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on track. Ask your question,
So
because I almost forgot again.
Was no. Just like a little check-in. How do you feel about Sonny and Ben at this point? Right now, excuse me, it seems a little bit unlike most Below Deck relationships.
Really?
A little bit. But I usually binge these seasons.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I'll give you my opinion on both of them separately as of right now, because I even have some notes, I think, about both of them individually this episode. I ended last week not a super fan of Sunny. I was like, she's kind of crazy, like, what's she doing? But then I got like respect for her when she woke up and she's like, I was being ridiculous. And she went directly to Zandy and she apologized. So I appreciated that. So I was like, no, I actually kind of like her. And she even owned up to like being like, I still have like a lot of growing up to do. She's only like 22, right?
Oh,
like
she's 22?
I'm pretty sure somebody mentioned her only being 22.
I take back most of the shit we've said about her.
Yeah, being
22?
And she's done a lot for being 22. So anyways, I actually like her. When they interviewed her a little bit more this episode, I was like, oh, like she's likable. I like her. I think she's too good for Ben. Not that I ever thought it was the other way around, because I never thought like Ben was too good for her. No. But I was more like, oh, like I think she's a little bit too thirsty for him, and I think she's too good for him, and I think he thinks he's way cooler than he actually is.
Yeah. That is a really good way to put it.
Our comments are actually very not, like, a lot of people don't like Ben. And I think it's because of last season. A lot of the people, shout out to all the people that comment on YouTube and give us info on last season, because we didn't watch it.
We just didn't have time.
Right. Again, I'm going in order, so there was no way I could get all the way to season 10. But they're giving us info about, like, he wasn't super liked last season, I don't think.
Yeah.
And now they're making him more likable this season, so we're not able to like compare the seasons. But I'm getting that more of that vibe where he thinks he's cooler than he is.
Yeah.
Which we kind of always got. So that being said, I think there's gonna be something that happens with this coming up on. Now for sure, I know, because at the end of this episode with the coming up on and that new Stu comes, you can tell by his face he knows who it is.
Oh, yeah.
So again, we've had people in the comments say it's this person from last season. We don't know anything. We're gonna have to watch it play out. But just the way his face looked, it was not just like, oh, she's hot. It was like, oh, she's hot, and I know who she is.
Yeah.
So as far as them, I don't think they're going to last the whole season, but I don't want them to, because I think she's too good for him. So there it is.
She's 22. Good for her being as mature.
I mean, don't take that
as
as Bible, but I'm pretty sure I heard somebody say she's 22.
If you're younger than me and you're responsible, good for you.
Right.
I'm 47.
I look great for my age.
I look okay for my age.
Okay, kind of going off of that, we do start this episode off with Zandy like coming in hot towards Sunny before Sunny apologized. Like, what did she say? Because I said we thought Zandy was so unproblematic up till this point.
Oh, it was from the night before, right?
Yeah, but she's like, that bitch better watch her back or something like that. Like, it wasn't that, don't quote me, but it was something along those lines where I was like, damn.
Well, yeah, she said something like that, but then she was like, I'm too old and mature to deal with this immature young bullshit. And
it's funny. So I'm also 30. So I'm 31. I'm 31. Damn
it.
It's going to be like that probably till I'm like 35. I'm just going to tell people I'm 30 and I'm not, because I actually did think I was 30 up until 2 seconds ago. But I don't really like people that say that. Like, I'm too old for this drama. Like, come on. Like, I just like, I don't know. It makes me like cringe a little bit.
Yeah. And I guess it's a little different mindset for me because I'm 26, right? Mm-hmm. 26, about to be 27.
Right, yeah.
I'm still within spitting distance of like 22, 23.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, they're allowed to go, do stupid shit and be dummies. But I got like maybe a year left for that, maybe 2.
See,
once I'm 28, I got to be a real adult.
Oh, 28's the cutoff?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
So yeah, that
was rude.
That happened. But then, like we said, Sunny apologized. Like that's basically that. That's the end of that drama as we know for now. Then I have Kyle says, "Am I friend zoned? Not sure. Oh well." Like with Barbie.
He's like 90% friend zoned.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm gonna go 85.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He won't be forever though. We know that. So that was just kind of a random thing. What else do we got? You got anything at the beginning of the episode before the charter guests come?
I don't know. I haven't looked at my notes yet.
Oh, no. Sunny's alter ego is named Sabrina. I do have that.
Yeah, I was like...
Who is a jealous bitch.
Come on. All right, Joao.
Joao. Isn't it funny how we forget about past crew members once we're into a new season? Like, I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't even remember what the last season was and who was on it.
Oh, I know.
My brain is like dumping information all the time.
I know. Like every now and then I just go on the like Below Deck Reddit and I'll just kind of skim through. Mm-hmm. Usually just when I'm waiting for like a video to upload or something. Mm-hmm. And it'll be like, oh, Chef Serena did this. And I'm like, what season was that? Like, I know who she is, but I couldn't, literally, gun to my head, couldn't tell you if it was the last season we covered or the first season.
Yeah.
No idea.
It was the last season.
Was it?
It was Med, right? God.
That doesn't sound right.
No, it was because then oh wait, no, was she on Down Under? See? We're idiots. We are it's just gone.
We're belowdeckperts.
We are, sorry.
And we're going to fight after this.
Sorry. I'm constantly trying to tear us down. I'm constantly rooting for us to fail. No.
You tore me down earlier.
It's funny.
I'm doing a bit.
It's called comedy, okay? Get with it.
Do you want a fresh one?
No. Also, I know we were like past this, but then I keep going back to it. But when Sunny was like woke up, she's like, I got to get it together. And Barbie's like, yeah, you do.
The thing is,
my friend.
She deserved to say that because she's laying on her own like sheets that she brought. She looks comfy as hell.
Oh, Barbie?
Yeah, and she slept in her own bed that night.
Didn't she say her sheets didn't fit? The sheets she brought didn't fit?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking, speaking of, maybe I'm thinking of a different season. No, Barbie definitely brought her own sheets.
I just don't remember if they didn't fit or not.
Oh man, that's so funny. Okay, so I don't know if you're going to remember this, but I wanted to bring it up.
When you were 4.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say something, but then can you read my mind?
Yeah, I know exactly. You can tell the story if you want.
You want me to
Make
tell
it funny.
I can't believe you knew what I was just about to say.
I know exactly because they bring it up literally 2 to 3 times a month.
It is. So
Actually,
the funniest story ever was.
Do you want me to tell it or do you want to tell it?
No, I'll probably tell it because you're going to downplay it because you like.
When do I ever downplay things?
Well, I mean, it's not that long of a story.
I'm dramatic as hell.
Basically, it's not even a story. It's literally just a phrase. When Lane was little, it probably wasn't even 4. He was probably like 2 or 3. He was out. We lived on a farm, and he was out in the pasture. If you know what farms are, you know what a pasture is.
It's like a field.
It's like a field. And in our pasture, there was like this area that had rocks in it, like big rocks, which now that I think about it, I don't know why those big rocks were there.
There was one beautiful rock.
There was one big, beautiful rock there. And you could climb on them, and there was like a tree. It was actually like a pretty cool area now that I think about it. And Lane was out there playing, and unsupervised, but I think I was out there too, but I wasn't like where you were.
Yeah.
Because I think
no one brings up that part.
So what happened is Lane pooped on this rock.
I pooped on a rock.
He pooped on a rock.
I pooped on a rock.
Dropped his pants and pooped on this rock. And I think what happened was I saw you do it, or I saw that it had happened.
And you tattled on me?
Oh, yeah. And I probably ran to the house and told Mom. Probably. That's probably what happened. I was a really mean big sister. There's also a instance where Lane was playing by our barn and opened this thing, and there was bees in there, and he got like bees attacked his face, and I just booked it out of there.
Yeah, so now you're not getting the full story. She opened it a little bit and was like, "Oh, Lane, come here."
No,
like,
I did not.
Okay, big sis.
I did not do that.
I remember this.
Really?
I remember
did that?
This.
I told you to look in there because there was bees?
I don't know if you knew I don't know if you knew there was bees in there, but you told me to open it.
Really?
And I opened it, and you ran. And I was standing there like, I don't know what bees are.
See, I don't remember making you open it. I just remember you opening it and me being like, bye.
Yeah, either way.
Anyways.
Not a ride or die.
So he pooped on a rock, and we bring it up at least monthly.
Because I'm still scared of bees.
And then, yeah, he got stung in the face. There's a lot of other instances where I was mean to him. I was not a great big sister.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I wasn't like evil, but like I was mean sometimes, like typical, I guess, big sibling stuff. Okay, but I had a point to, okay, no, before we got into all of that, I said, my note says, I don't understand Captain's story about his chef friend at all. Do you remember him telling a story about like, I was friends with this chef and I didn't tell her this thing, and then that ruined the friendship?
It was, the story wasn't all there.
I know, because I was like, am I like stupid right now? Because I have no idea what he's saying.
He was basically comparing the two chefs and trying to make like kind of a comment or a stance on that, like Chef Anthony his head isn't in it right now, but he didn't give an example as to why his head wasn't in it right now. And then he talked about his chef friend who was cooking, but worried that she had a mole in her house.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that part.
I watched it a couple times and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, good. I thought I was alone.
Yeah.
If anybody's
Long story
watching
short,
this
you are not alone in that.
or listening, yeah, tell us if you understood it, because I didn't. But going off of that, let's just talk about like Chef Anthony and Fraser. I think Fraser's being hard on him. Don't you?
Fraser, if you ask me, from what we've seen, Fraser's not doing his job well enough, and he's dogging on Chef Anthony for no
Really?
reason.
You don't think he's doing his job well enough?
I don't think so.
Well, he's down a stew, so that's hard.
So is everybody else, but...
No, but they're not.
Well, the rest of the stews, I mean.
Right.
And it seems like they're feeling the pressure, and he's just off doing his own thing.
Yeah. I think the one thing we don't realize about these chefs, and they're like pointing it out more this season than they have in the past, is that these chefs get barely any sleep. Like, they're up cleaning until at least 2 a.m. and then they have to get up at 6. They get like 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But they're like pointing it out with Chef Anthony. And I'm like, I remember seeing Ben. I remember seeing all of these chefs, even the really good ones, which Chef Anthony's great. I can't even say anything bad about him. But they're making it seem like, oh my God, he's staying up so late and not prioritizing, and he's dyslexic. And it's like, I think there's no chef that I've watched that is going to sleep earlier than 1 a.m.
I think it's the below deck effect. Because, like, this boat that we're on this season, you have to... I can't think of the phrase. But you have to move the anchor chain back and forth with that little thing.
Okay.
And do you remember the first season of Down Under, where the one deckhand was like, I refuse to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
But they have to do it on this boat. It was mentioned one time for 3 seconds.
Yeah, so they like pick and choose
saying?
what to, So that's my stance on it, is I feel like we're like kind of nitpicking, or like the show is nitpicking Chef Anthony when he's like doing his best. And we're going to get into this charter, which we will here in a second because there's a lot. This was the most difficult like dietary restrictions I've ever seen on Below Deck. Not only, it's not because of what they're asking, it's because of every single guest has different dietary. It's like putting a puzzle together.
Yeah.
Because when they went through them all, I was like, there's absolutely nothing that these guests will all eat the same thing of.
No.
0. Gluten, dairy, fish, raw fish, meat, chicken, red meat. Like nothing was... He has to put a puzzle together. And we're being really hard on someone because if I saw that, I'd be like... peace out. Like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and there's just so many different things. Like, we'll get into it with, like, the burgers and everything. Mm-hmm. But to have veggie burgers, regular burgers, lettuce wraps.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started.
What was it?
Gluten-free bun.
Gluten-free buns, regular buns.
Yep.
He doesn't buy those from the store. He makes them from scratch.
Yeah.
And to have all that and then put up the option of how do you want your burger cooked?
Yep.
Oh, is this going to be what you think is medium, medium rare, medium well? It's... Oh,
I know.
I wouldn't.
And also, I know we're Team Barbie, but like I feel like she was trying her best to like make it organized for Chef Anthony. Like I think it was just a really hard thing, and I think like Barbie took the like fall for it. But, like, I don't know that Fraser would have done a better job. I'm just being honest. I don't know that Zandy would have done a better job. Like, that was complicated.
Yeah, that was way too complicated. He should have just done, like, well, you can't do chicken.
Right,
but I was thinking chicken sandwiches. You can't mess that up. You can't do that medium rare.
No.
But maybe something simpler.
Maybe, but I don't know. So, the dietary restrictions are insane. Jill is a housewife. I can look up in a second, like, what franchise, but if I'm being honest, I'm not going to do that because I don't give a fuck.
I don't fucking care.
I don't care. So she was an actual housewife, though. So Barbie says it at the beginning, and this is this should be the title of the episode, is Jill is the primary in her head.
Yeah.
I don't...
Lane, write that down.
Lane, write that down. Jill is the primary in her head.
Write that down. Write that down.
Is that going to be the title?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. It. There's also another good quote though. I think I wrote it down. Oh, Jill is crawling into my brain and eating my soul. That's another good quote.
Yeah.
That's catchy.
Fraser said that. Yeah. No, I felt that. I didn't like watching her do anything.
So I also have another note in there. Again, we'll get into like why Jill's the worst, but if you watch the episode, you know Jill's the worst.
So
Who
bad.
would invite, who is her friend? Like, the guests don't even seem like they like her.
No, I have many notes in here.
Well, let's get into it. Like,
That's why I'm not even really looking at my notes, because I was angry both times I was taking notes.
yeah.
It seems like she bullied her way into getting invited.
I think either that happened or this was a whole production thing.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to have a housewife on. Jill was willing to do it. Jill has her own boat. Jill knows everything. She stocks her own boat. She's been a captain of a boat. I said, does Jill want to work on this boat?
I don't want to see that.
What?
Her work on the boat.
Oh, God, no.
She could be like the anchor.
Jill, do you want to drive this boat? Drive it.
Drive
Show
it.
us.
Pulling
no.
the insurance off it, though.
So the guests come on. Jill's a nightmare immediately.
Mm-hmm.
They have all these dietary restrictions. So the first day they do the water activities, and God, that's like my favorite. I love when they show the water activities with the sea bobs.
Yeah.
I want to do a sea bob so bad.
I want to try the, is it e-foil?
That's what a sea bob is, I think. Oh no, that's like the
E-foil
hoverboard.
is like the hoverboard surfboard thing.
See, I don't want to do that. I think
I
I
feel
just
like
fall.
I'd be good at that.
Really?
No.
Well, you were a
I'd try.
skateboarder.
Hell yeah, brother. Shaka Khan.
There was a
Hang loose, brother.
that TikTok I sent you of the kid that recorded himself doing the little tiny jump on the skateboard.
Yeah.
That's what Lane used to do as a kid.
It's so true.
It was before we had phones with cameras.
It's so
So
true.
he'd set up my parents' camcorder to record him skateboarding in our basement. We should get
Yeah.
some of that footage and put it on the Patreon.
Nah,
We should. I can find it somewhere. I have it for sure.
we're not putting that on the free.
Yes, we are. Oh, not the free. Yeah, maybe a paid tier. We'll figure
You
it
have
out.
to pay $400 to see that.
Pay.
One-time paywall.
Okay, so this was kind of like a throwaway thing that wasn't addressed, but I have a feeling it will be addressed in the future. Dylan telling the guests that he's going to be the lead deckhand.
Yeah.
What?
That is going to be one of two, maybe three things. He either makes Dylan lead deckhand, pisses off Sonny. That's a whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Or he makes Sonny lead deckhand, pisses off Dylan. And then the third thing is just Kyle hanging out.
Yeah.
He's not going to be lead deckhand.
My prediction is Sonny. My
Yeah.
prediction is Sonny's going to make lead deckhand. Dylan's going to be upset about it. He's got more experience. They're just doing it because they're hooking up. Like, I think that's the whole line. It wouldn't
That
play
makes
into
more
the
sense.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
play to the drama if they just gave it to Dylan.
Yeah.
He's so immature.
Give it
too.
to Kyle.
Give
I
it to
like
Kyle.
Kyle.
I like Kyle, but I don't think he's got the skills.
No, but
No.
he's a cool guy. I would love to have him on the show.
I would too. Zandy's on a journey of celibacy.
Yeah.
That's something.
Yeah.
Wait, she didn't say that to Captain though. She said it to the her interview. I don't think she said it to Captain because she was talking to Captain about it.
Yeah, you might be right. Because originally I did think that she said it to Captain, but I think she might have just said it in her interview.
Yeah.
But I believe her. I don't think she'll hook up with anyone this season.
Oh no. I'm just saying that was a
You don't
weird.
believe her?
It was no, I do believe her.
You what?
Did I say I didn't?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm just messing with you.
I just thought it was like a random thing to throw in there.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Gotta fill time.
I guess so. Oh my God. Speaking of that, I think it was like a meme or like a tweet that was like, more episodes of TV shouldn't matter. Like, remember like the long running TV shows back before we had streaming where, there was 10 seasons, 25 episodes, like King of Queens, for example.
Yeah.
We don't have those kinds of shows anymore.
No.
We only have like the short series where you have to pay attention to every single episode because you got to pick up the details and stuff. Like, more TV shows shouldn't matter. Like on Grey's Anatomy, there was a musical episode one time.
Oh, I know. That's like, my favorite TV show of all time is Psych.
Yeah.
There was a musical episode in the middle of like season 7.
Right.
And it was the same episode, like the same plot and everything about a story they did in season 1.
Yeah.
Made no sense.
No sense.
I watched it one time. I'll never watch it again.
Yep.
Favorite show in the world. Will never watch that episode again.
That makes me want to rewatch the musical episode of Grey's Anatomy.
Nah.
Like,
I feel like that was a trend because they were both shows at the same time.
That's true. There was a trend for a while where they did a musical episode.
It was probably when High School Musical came out.
No, it was probably when Glee was really big too.
That makes more sense, yeah.
But anyways, I'm all for it. Below Deck, throw in that random stuff. Sometimes we just need a break. We just need to know the random stuff.
Yeah.
We don't need to know it.
Give us like 20 minutes of Kyle like doing random shit on the deck.
That's true. We would be really bad at producing a TV show.
Yeah, we would. We wouldn't do too well. We would
All right.
Yeah.
So I didn't write a ton. I'm like kind of flying through this because I'm already at like their first dinner. Is there anything else I forgot like before then?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at my notes.
Wow, that is so surprising. I just want to make sure we've been talking a lot, but I feel like we're flying through this. But I'm already at the first dinner, but I feel like they even flew through the first dinner.
I mean, they really did. It was a shrimp cocktail, like just a regular shrimp cocktail with cocktail sauce and fresh lemons.
Okay.
Have you ever had that before?
No, actually.
Pretty exotic. You can't get that at Kroger.
No.
Do you want me to get into the food or do
Sure.
you want me to save it?
Unless you have something before the food, but basically I'm at the first dinner.
Jill with the bathroom stuff.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even bother writing that down because I was like, Jill is the type of person who is just trying to find everything.
Oh, yeah.
Which we see it at all of the meals, right? She's going to literally look for something to complain about. It's like, Jill, you're the one that looks like an idiot that you couldn't find the outlet.
Yeah.
Like, look around.
Yeah, like it's not the easiest place to find it.
But there's going to be one.
Wasn't in a safe.
Right.
You know.
So I think the reason
it.
she did that was because she wanted the stew to come down there, Barbie or whoever it was, to tell them you don't have toothbrushes and toothpaste and floss and Q-tips and Tums because people get sick on boats. Like she just wanted to tell somebody that.
Yeah, and that just screams like, to me, I don't know. I'm not rich. I've never been rich. Our parents aren't rich. But it just screams like, I stay at the Four Seasons. They have Colgate there.
I know.
You know?
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, that is on another level to assume that every single thing is covered for you.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the same thought I had. I was like, even if I was super, super rich, I guess it truly is just like a different mindset. Like when you've been rich for that long, and I don't actually know anything about Jill. I don't know how rich she is. I don't know whatever. Or how long she's been rich for. But I imagine you do get in that mindset. Like, think of like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. Like, they have not a worry in the world. There is not a thing out there that they can't afford. They are the type of people who can have literally everything at their fingertips. And so that's the way I looked at it. It was like, maybe not that I'm like excusing her behavior, but like they just think differently than the normal person does.
Well, the rich people have people to think about and figure out that stuff for them.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't think about where their toothpaste comes from.
Right.
And like stuff like that. When you're on this boat, you don't have to worry about where your alcohol comes from, where your food comes from, who's driving the boat, blah, blah, blah. But you do have to think about, how am I going to get my clothes from here to the boat? How am I
Technically not. They could ask the stews to unload their suitcases and stuff.
No, I mean from like the airport.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
like stuff like that.
That's true.
They have to think about that stuff. But
Right.
when you're like rich, you don't have to think about anything.
That's true. I think we're putting Jill on a level that she's not at because
Yeah.
again, like a Jeff Bezos has his own yacht staffed by his own staff.
Yeah.
With his own stuff on. Yeah. So, the
But-
other thing, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's
but
okay.
What my point was, I think she's a little bit under what you said it. I just realized this. She's under what she's acting. Sorry,
Yes,
go
exactly.
ahead.
The other thing I thought though is like, she would have complained about the type of toothpaste that was in there though.
Oh yeah.
This is only Colgate Total. What are you, poor?
What the fuck is this bullshit?
She would have been like, you really should have the extra soft toothbrushes in here. These are the medium, and sometimes people have sensitive gums.
I don't, but
But you just got to think about people.
you just got to think about people.
Yeah.
If I didn't say anything, you guys,
I'd be doing you a disservice. I'm helping
I
you.
would be, yeah.
I'm a help.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's like, jump off the fucking
She
boat.
literally, she really does think she's helping.
Yeah.
Because she even says it at like dinner and stuff like, they should not be bringing Captain into this. And I literally wrote like, Jill, when you complain about everything, guess what? They're going to fucking tell the Captain.
Yeah. Like, you find literally everything that happens ever wrong. They're going to tell the captain because you're going to give them, well, not you. You're going to tell the primaries to give them less of a tip.
Yeah.
Like, just go fuck yourself.
All right. That's our first Jill tangent. Any other food at the first dinner?
Yeah. Fuck you, Jill. Purple cauliflower sauce with roasted carrots, asparagus, rosemary potatoes, and scallops.
All right. That doesn't sound too bad.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I wrote down a lot of shit.
Because you know what? You want to know what? I literally only wrote one thing about this dinner. I said, I felt like I looked down for a second and dinner was over.
Oh, yeah. No, that was another one where I just had to rewind a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically I make a bunch of cheap jokes in here. This is a good point.
Okay.
Chef is trying very hard to work with the vegan guests, and he makes tofu that looks like scallops.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that. How awful.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure it was great, but how freaking awful. You couldn't really pay me to eat scallop-shaped tofu.
Yeah, no, go fuck yourself. Just kidding, kind of. I have a little ditty here. 40% of vegans' meals are filled with the satisfaction of telling anyone who will listen that they're vegan.
Exactly.
40% is the satisfaction that they have to burden a chef by cooking for them.
Yep.
15% making everyone else there jealous, or at least trying, and 5% is enjoying the food.
No, nobody's jealous of a vegan.
Did I say jealous?
Yeah.
I meant guilty.
Okay, I was going to say.
Yeah.
I've never looked at a vegan and said, I'm so jealous that you're a vegan.
Yeah, no, I would avoid you.
And
And do whatever you want, but don't make it your whole thing.
I know. I know people are vegans for reasons, and I don't hate all vegans, but I literally have a note in here, and this is when we're not here yet, but the lunch with the veggie burgers I have. Could you even imagine having dietary restrictions like that? A veggie burger on a lettuce wrap? Just kill me and get it over with.
Yeah.
If all I could eat was a veggie burger on a lettuce wrap,
With
I'd be
no
like,
cheese.
You know what? Just kill me. It's not
Just
worth
kill
it
me.
being here.
No, it's not worth it. Use my body for science to prevent this going forward.
Yeah.
Or take my brain and tell me why I thought this was a good idea.
Oh man. All right, let's keep
sorry
moving.
if you're vegan, but
No, again, I'm not saying it's all vegans. And I know here are the vegans I'm excusing. The ones that need to do it for medical reasons.
yeah.
The ones that are doing it for not medical reasons,
You're doing it for
I don't
attention.
excuse you.
Yeah.
You're not excused.
Yeah, for instance, you're lactose intolerant,
Right.
but you take a pill for it. I know there's no vegan pill or whatever,
Right.
but for me,
Vegan pill.
red meat gives me bathroom trouble, but I still eat it and I don't complain about it. I don't eat it that often, but if I was on a cruise ship or a yacht,
A cruise ship.
if I was on the small cruise ship, if I was on a yacht, I would eat whatever and deal with the consequences. I wouldn't complain.
Well, and again, I think there's a difference between being like, hey, I'm allergic to this thing. Or again, medically, I can't have this thing.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to say I can't have lactose, that would be like, okay, medically, she can't handle it.
Yeah.
But people that are just vegan because of whatever, non-medical reasons.
Well, and like the only other exception in my mind is
Religious.
that
Yeah.
and vegetarians who don't like the way animals are produced into food.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think there's reasons. I think we're saying that there's reasons, but this group, you can just tell, are being difficult to be difficult.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on. I just have one minor note that's not about Jill. Kyle saying Dylan's high fives are annoying.
Oh, yeah.
He is like, oh my God. I just know. I'm sorry. I just know Dylan would fucking drive me crazy.
Oh, yeah. He reminds me of like a preacher in a megachurch.
That, or he also reminds me of the kid in school that's like, he's an athlete, but he's not like the best athlete. And he hangs out with the kids that are like really good athletes, but
Yeah.
he acts like he's on the same level. And he tries to like overcompensate because he's not like at the same level because he's not that good at sports or whatever. And he's like trying to be like overly funny, but he's not naturally funny. Like he's that kid that's not really good at anything.
I have literally, and I would never say his name, but
Someone
exactly in mind.
Exactly.
From high school.
Yep.
Who like thought he peaked in high school because he was on JV and hung around the varsity
Exactly.
guys when he could weasel his way in there.
Yep. Or another thing that comes to mind is like, because there's the class clowns, right? I can think of like a couple kids that were in my class that were just so funny. They were just naturally funny. They were naturally the class clowns. He reminds me of a wannabe class clown.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I'm funny, but you're really not. Anyways, back to Jill.
We're getting really off topic because we just don't want to get pissed off about Jill.
I know, seriously. And I've only had one glass of wine, so I'm not even drunk, and it hasn't even really taken the edge off.
I've had 3 bottles of wine.
No, I'll just say, why would anyone invite Jill anywhere? Already said that.
Yeah.
And then, so let's get to the lunch then. Let's get to the veggie burger lunch, which we've already kind of talked about. What happens is everybody wants something different. Like Lane said, a regular burger on a gluten-free bun, regular burger on a lettuce wrap, gluten-free on whatever. Like just everything was different. And so what ended up happening was some of the food was cold, which is like understandable. I know, I guess I'm not saying as a guest I wouldn't be upset if my food was cold, but I was like, throw that bitch in the microwave and make them shut the hell up.
Well, the one that they showed, I don't know why that word didn't make sense in my head. I was going to say the one that they shown. The one that they sheened, was someone's regular burger cut in half, and then they said it was cold. Go to any restaurant in the world.
How dare you?
I gotta take this.
Ollie?
Ollie, get back in the house. Ollie's my dog. But when you cut a burger in half, you take, like 10, 15 minutes to eat the other half because you're eating blah, 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 talking, whatever. That other half of the burger is not going to be warm.
Oh, so there was only half of the burger left?
That was what they showed at one point. But in the other shots or other clips before that scene, it was shots of the burgers that weren't eaten at all. I was a little confused. And
yeah,
I think they're full of shit.
Well, yeah, there's no way to know the timeline of it. But the other thing, again, this is literally just Jill being annoying, was when she's like, who else's burger's cold? Speak up. Like, Jill, leave them alone. If
Yeah.
someone wants to eat somewhat of a cold burger because they don't want to cause a scene, let them.
Yeah.
Like, let them. Stop.
Yeah.
Nobody will I truly, this is my take on it. I do not think Jill was friends with those people. I
No.
really don't. I really do not think she was friends with those people.
Well, and she said she only knew 2 of them.
Exactly. I think they just added her on because when you look, if you go back to that scene with the burgers, everyone looks uncomfortable.
Yeah. No, everyone looks uncomfortable the entire time.
I know. The primary does not look like she's having fun.
No.
And then let's just jump, because this has been a long episode. We won't keep you guys, but let's just jump to the end when, because we already talked about like Jill being like, Captain shouldn't be bothered with any of this. Jill, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut
But
the
then-
fuck up.
Then at the end, she's like at the bar and she's talking to, I think, Chef Anthony. He's up there
Yeah.
asking them and she's like, can we get sushi up here? But also, I don't like sushi.
Yeah. No.
Are you
fuck yourself.
Are you serious? I would have been like, excuse me? Like, are you the primary? And then at the end, we get to basically the whole to sum this episode up, Captain's like, why are we treating Jill like she's the primary? Because what ends up happening is the primary doesn't like fucking raw fish.
Yeah.
So who was Jill saying wanted sushi?
No.
Jill
yeah.
didn't want sushi. She doesn't eat fish or meat or whatever. And the primary doesn't eat raw fish. Jill, who wanted sushi?
No one.
No one.
She just knows it's difficult to make and not a lot of people know how to make it.
Truly.
Yeah.
Like, I
She
was
just
so
sucks.
dumbfounded by that.
No, yeah, she just sucks.
It's not even her looking out for the primary. She literally was just being, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to let her make me mad anymore.
We just got a really good intro clip, though.
From me?
Yeah.
Nice.
First one.
Thanks.
It's usually me.
Really?
Past 2.
Cool. Anything else? I know we didn't skip over the dinner, but now we're to like the end where Jill asks for the sushi. What?
Literally, every time I look down at my notes, I said it so many times. It was just, eat shit, Jill.
I know.
Like, fuck you.
I know. She was planted. I mean, this is the
Yeah.
reaction they wanted out of us. Jill
Yeah.
wanted the articles written about her the next day being a bitch. Like, this is all, we're all playing into it right
We're
now,
all
but
playing
it's
into
fun. It's whatever. Life's not that serious.
And yeah, and I even thought about like my notes and stuff. And I'm like, shit, if we ever want her on the podcast.
I don't
I'm
want her
like,
on the podcast.
I would never want her on the podcast.
No. Anybody that I like kind of dislike, I don't expect to ever. Yeah.
I like that we keep it real though.
No, I know.
You know,
This would not be, we wouldn't be still doing this if I was trying to please everybody because it wouldn't be fun.
oh no.
I don't think we've said this before. We're not overly mean. I'm never ever going to talk shit,
Just
but I'm going to
tell
be
our
honest.
opinion,
Yeah. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was the beach when they do the yoga and how Fraser and both Fraser and Zandy were there.
Stupid.
What was that?
Stupid.
In what world do they need to both be there when they only have 3 total stews?
They didn't need to send any. They needed to send one stew, and that's Barbie. Because Zandy doesn't serve, and Fraser is the fucking chief stew.
Right.
Send Barbie. I don't care how much
don't
you
get
hate
it.
her because she stands up to you. Send her.
That it doesn't make any sense to me.
I just got really angry about that.
No, and again, I'm not so much like it needed to be Barbie that was sent. I don't actually really care. I think all 3 of them are so capable that to me it doesn't matter who goes and who stays.
Yeah.
But there definitely needed to be 2 on the boat. Are you kidding me?
Well, the thing is, Zandy isn't good with guests. She only does, she's in the
weird.
cabins.
Right.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's her thing. Leave her behind. Fraser and Barbie, fine, send her the yoga thing or whatever. But someone needed to be back doing cabins,
No,
setting
2
up dinner.
people definitely needed to be back doing cabins.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's too big of a boat. Like Barbie
Yeah.
was not going to be able to get all that done by herself. So
And then Fraser's like, well, should have worked harder.
I know.
What a dick.
I know. I I guess I would love to hear the reasoning behind why only Barbie was left behind. And again, it's not so much about it being Barbie. That's not what I'm arguing. It's about why were two stews doing yoga on the beach?
Yeah.
While Barbie's running around trying to clean the whole entire boat.
Why were any crew members doing yoga on
I
the
know.
beach?
I think, don't get me wrong, there needed to be one because they had drinks and stuff. Like, there needed to be a stew, but not two.
Why were any of them doing yoga with them?
I mean, what else are you going to do?
Stand there and wait for someone to ask for a bottle of water. I don't know.
We're just being salty today.
I came
Jill
into
made
this
us this
very
way.
salty. Jill, this is your fault.
So anyway, the only thing I had on the coming up on was that Ben definitely knew the new stew. Do you have any notes on the coming up on or the preview for next week and what's to come?
Yeah, just the one part, and I think they showed it on the last coming up is Fraser telling Barbie that she can leave.
Oh yeah.
And Barbie calling, I think, her mom and saying, I want to leave.
I
don't
know.
want to do this anymore.
I know, and unfortunately, we've said this before. I think Barbie is going to end up leaving. And maybe not. Maybe they're going to throw us for a loop and Zandy's going to leave because there was also a coming up on last week where Zandy was really upset.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they both do. Who knows?
I don't think either of them will.
You don't think it? No, one is for sure gonna leave. We've said this over and over every week that like both the deck, like all, they run through people this season. They like set a record for the amount of people that left.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still believing in Barbie because she seems very strong, but at the same time, a strong person knows when to leave.
Exactly. That's my prediction is like if Barbie leaves, she's going to leave on her own accord.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. We let Jill really work us up, but honestly, it's funny. Jill was annoying, but this is what it's about, right? Again, not that serious. It's fun and it was a good episode. Yeah. Like again, it was drama filled. That's exactly what Bravo wants, and that's what they got. So
yeah.
What do you got for your secret word? Do you have one?
I've been thinking a while, and you know me.
Oh no.
I've been around. I've been places. I've done things.
You're looking around. I wrote one down that just said stressed.
Yeah.
This was a stressful episode. But if you don't want to go with that one, if you can think of something
I don't want to
better.
go with that one.
Okay.
Because every time I edit this, I always look at it and it makes me laugh. This picture.
Oh yeah.
The cat picture.
I'd move the camera up if I could to show you guys the cat picture. Maybe
they can see it.
Oh yeah. They can at least see part of it.
Oh yeah, it's cut under the hair. So it's literally just a cat. It's just a cat that looks pissed off.
No, so it looks like fancy and they like their hair.
All right. The secret word is fancy cat.
Fancy cat, I like that.
Fancy cat.
Also, for our audio listeners, I'll post a picture of Fancy Cat.
Yeah.
I should just post it with no description on the Instagram. Just no title.
Oh, well, they gave up.
Yep. All right, guys. Super fun. Love doing this for you guys.
Yeah.
Go join the Patreon. Keep commenting. Keep liking. Keep subscribing. We love you. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I got nothing.
All right. See you next week.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.